All right, so we're back for the 5th Wellbeings podcast. Very exciting. We're talking about relationships. And the first question is, how do I support my partner while making time for myself? So I think I'm not an expert in relationships by any means. I've not been in a relationship for a good while. And that's really so that I could learn myself and grow and make sure that I'm whole and have the kind of relationship that I would like to have. And I just think the foundation of everything I'm going to say right now, I think is reciprocity. So if two people come together that are whole, it's not codependent. It's not relying on each other to do things. It's having that independence and the confidence to go out and do things properly by yourself. So in a relationship with somebody else who's whole, I don't think it's anything really to think about how I support them and how they support me and making time for myself. It's not something that I think about with my children. It's just something that we do, you know. Anybody that I love to that extent, it's not a thing. We just move in a nice flow and an intuitive flow. Do I believe in a 50-50 relationship? And again, it's pretty much the same answer in truth. I'm not big on these kind of terms that are used online and this kind of antagonism to trigger responses out of people and create what to me feels like arguments and disagreements between people. You know, again, I think 50-50, it doesn't really mean anything to me. I don't go to my children, is this 50-50? I'm not a scorekeeper. I'm not that kind of person. And the friends that I have, we don't do that kind of thing. We just do for each other. A lot of stuff is put on relationships, and it's just, for me, a load of rubbish in truth. So 50-50 relationship, you might as well say to me, are you gonna swim across the Antarctic tomorrow? Like, it's a nothing thing. It's not even, doesn't even exist in my world, that kind of talk. It's just reciprocity. You know, everybody does what they need to do for the family, and we work in coherence, we work in community, and whoever needs to pick up the slack at whatever time picks up the slack, and that's what it is. Can you ever be in a relationship with someone you're not physically attracted to? So, no, you know, that's the truth for me, that's my truth. But what is physical attraction? And physical attraction for me absolutely incorporates the light. So, you know, there are people out there that I've encountered who are very physically attractive in terms of what society thinks, but I don't find them attractive, or I learn that they're not that attractive at all because of who they are inside and what they believe about themselves. You know, arrogance and vanity and that kind of thing for me are a huge turn off. Don't like it at all. I love confidence though, and I love people that care about their appearance in a creative and a kind of self-care way. I do like that, and I think that's a lot to do with the way I was raised. But I like people that groom and take care of themselves and have pride in themselves. So somebody that doesn't do that kind of thing, I'm probably not going to find, well, I won't find physically attractive. So physical attraction is important to me, but it's not, it doesn't supersede who a person is. The most important thing is who a person is, you know, because looks change, looks fade, looks adapt over time. You know, I've had 2 children and my body changed massively after I had those children. What I desire for myself in a relationship is that I'm loved for who I am. And if for any reason my physical changes, that my heart and who I am inside is the connection that keeps the bond. In other words, if you know, something happened to me and my appearance changed, they're going to stay. And I would like to say that I would do the same. So it's important, but it's not the number one at all. And then the last question is in a relationship, is it our job to make our partner happy, or is it an inside job? It's always an inside job. It's not our job to make anybody happy. But I do believe in cooperation and coherence and peace and positive vibes and nice energy. So I think we should have a responsibility about our energy in any relationship that we have. And as a parent, of course, that's something that's tested daily, because regardless of what's going on, you can't just get into an angry state and stay there and be horrible to your children and walk around being a menace to the household because you feel like it. So the kind of happiness thing, for me, I think it's more about peace and contentment, and I would say joy. Other people will affect your joy, they'll affect your peace. So I like people that are peaceful. I like to be around beings that have a high sense of self-control in adverse circumstances, which I believe I have, having worked in lots of situations where, you know, sometimes you are purposely antagonized and individuals are trying to get you to react. So I'm trained in being calm. I'm trained in reacting to situations that for some might be crazy in a relaxed manner. And it is absolutely essential for me that my future partner holds those qualities. I find it quite repulsive due to past circumstances, people that just fly off the handle and don't take responsibility for their behaviour. You know, I really struggle with that. I am used to, and the example that I have kind of had, I think, from the female elders in my family, is if a crisis comes along, you just buckle down and you deal with the crisis. I haven't seen them panic or lose it or start breaking down or whatever. And for me, a man is supposed to be a protector, so I need my man to be reliable in that regard. And I think in this world, especially as a black man, as an African man, with all the stereotypes that have been put upon them, to really be able to handle himself in adverse situations. So yeah, happiness is an inside job. For me, peace and self-control and self-discipline are more important than happiness, because I think if you have those things, you're happy anyway. But that's all semantics. So this is going to be great, you know, relationships. I'm not an expert, you know. I would like to think that going forward in this life, you know, I will become one, because I am whole at the moment. For the rest of my life, I'm whole. I've done the work. I've worked on myself a lot, and I'm whole. So I would like to think I will be an expert, you know, eventually. But at this point in time, I'm still a student, so to speak, and my learning will be put into practice soon enough. So we'll see you later for Relationships, the Wellbeings Podcast.